Ladies and gentlemen, the bears are dead in the water. Their head and shoulders formation that stemmed back from March 2023 has been invalidated, and we have strongly broke above 32K just a day after flipping bullish on the Wolves of Crypto YouTube channel. We've predicted now the November 2021 top, the November 2022 bottom, all within 5%. We've now predicted this. We bought Bitcoin at 19K. Everything in between was basically correct from a macro perspective. Yeah, there's been short-term things we've got wrong. Of course, it's part of TA, but far out, man. We just can't get it wrong at this point. Not to flex or anything, but it's getting quite insane if you follow the track record. But look, I'm not here to flex. I'm not here to boast. I'm here to give you guys a YouTube TA analysis. And that's exactly what we're doing today. TA analysis, what has happened in the last 24 hours? Why is it important? And what will happen next? All those questions will be answered today. And tomorrow, we've got a very important video as well. We'll discuss that more in this video today. Guys, without further ado, let's get into the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the charts today, which is still moving very rapidly, by the way, we're going to look into the VIP group on Telegram. The VIP group on Telegram has been especially useful during this time. We've had the VIP group chat, as you can see, 24/7 discussion on Bitcoin, on cryptocurrency, everything in relation to the market and VIP trades. Have been going off during this time of market volatility. So if you're not in a group chat like this, you're really missing out. You can join a group chat like this by joining VIP group. As well as that's just a bonus. The actual content you get for joining VIP group is the multiple trading signals per week on altcoins, which have been very profitable in the past. We've got an 80.5% win rate. That's 4 out of every 5 trades reaching profit with over 100 trades of data. So very profitable and very helpful and very convenient. You can check out the pricing information here on Telegram, and that is in the link below. All right, let's get into the charts without further ado. I know this is what you're here for. So I want to start, I'm doing it in kind of order. I've ordered my charts here. I want to start by saying congratulations to myself and obviously the entire community as well. We literally flipped bullish on Bitcoin after being neutral for quite a long period of time yesterday. We flipped bullish down here at 29K yesterday when we made the video, 29.8K, something like that. And literally within hours of flipping bullish, the market printed one of the biggest green candles we've seen in a very long period of time. I mean, this green candle, not only percentage-wise, I mean, percentage-wise is a different story, but in terms of USD gain on that green candle, it's a 3,100 USD daily candle. I actually don't think we've seen that probably since the bull market in 2021. You're probably looking all the way back to something like over here in September 2021. I think that's one of the biggest green candles we've seen in a long period of time. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't actually checked that claim, but it certainly was a massive candle. That's a 10% candle there. Huge, and we're still going upwards right now. Now, this video is not going to be focusing too much on short term because the short term is rapidly progressing faster than I can speak. And so by the time I make this video, the short term might even be invalid. But it will be focusing on medium term and long term because so much has happened on medium term and long term. Now, the bear case, okay, that people have been speaking about for a very long period of time, which I've never really given a massive degree of validity. I've never really taken it very seriously, and that's resonated through all my videos. In fact, I did a dedicated video on this head and shoulders candlestick formation a few days ago, and I literally said outright, yeah, look, it's technically valid, but I'm not actually taking it very seriously at this point in time, and I won't be taking it very seriously unless we break 28K. And obviously now that claim was proven the right thing to do because we've absolutely skyrocketed to the upside and completely broken any resemblance of a head and shoulders market pattern at all. So the bears are dead. I mean, the bears are dead in the water at this point. That is absolutely wrecked. So the head and shoulders is gone. And that was literally probably the last hope for the bears, because I'm actually going to close this tab and go to the next one. Because if you look at what the range-bound construction looks like, right, this is where you start to really understand how bullish the market has just flipped. This is a chart, I kid you not, guys, this is a chart we've looked at for maybe 7, 8, maybe 9 months, right? This is the range-bound construction chart on Bitcoin. It might look ridiculous, it might look stupid or comical when you're first looking into it, but if you actually look at what's going on in this chart, you'll start to understand it's a very useful chart. We have the ranges in color-coded rectangles. We have the range down here between 18K and 15K, which is the bottoming out range. We have the bear market range, which is the orange range here between 24.5 and 18K. That's where we spent the vast majority of the bear market consolidation. We have the range that I always called no man's land. I always called this range no man's land because I saw this green range as in between the bear market range and the range where we saw the vast majority of the bull market. So I always called it like the no man's land range. In fact, I made analogies over and over and over again up until just yesterday that imagine this is World War One, this is the British, this is the Germans, and this is no man's land in between. So I always said this range that we were just in between 24.5 down here and 32K was a neutral range. We saw neutral price action for 8 months, with which validated my claim there. And now we have finally, after 7.5 months-ish of consolidation, we have skyrocketed, okay? And we have gone in above 32K, and we've re-entered this pink range here. Huge, huge stuff, right? Big stuff for Bitcoin. And that is absolutely and utterly bullish for Bitcoin. I can't stress how bullish that is. It's the most bullish thing we've seen since breaking this orange range here in March. Most bullish thing we've seen in 7 months, by far. And now Bitcoin, without a doubt, I mean, it's very, very clearly following 4-year cycle. I mean, if you are to sit here and claim that Bitcoin is still bearish, you have to be completely in denial of the charts. Okay, on a macro scale I'm talking about. Short term is completely different. In fact, I haven't actually even focused on that too much today at all, because it's constantly shifting. You have to be completely in denial at this point, because we are now, up from the bottom. I mean, the bottom was here at 15.4K. We're up 136% from the bottom. If you're still bearish on Bitcoin on a macro scale, you've been listening to the wrong people, my friend. Because, we've been buying on Wolves of Crypto VIP and on Wolves Crypto YouTube channel publicly since 19K. So if you're still waiting to buy at 36K, mate, you've completely missed the boat and you've trusted the wrong people, and you need to trust the valid, strong trends. This is why I've gone over and over and over and over again for 2.5 years. The entire time I've had my YouTube channel, I've over and over repeated myself. The 4-year cycle is the only thing you can trust on a macro scale. It's the only thing you can ever trust on a macro scale. It's the only macro trend that Bitcoin has, okay? That's the fact. It's a simple reality. If you look at the chart, we have a very strong macro trend. I'll explain it to you right now, and then I'll go back into the medium-term analysis. 4-year cycle, date range trend. It's based on 5 micro trends. Micro trends including dates, right? Date range trends from top to top, from bottom to bottom, from top to bottom, from bottom to top, from bottom to halving. All of those trends are color-coded in this chart, and it brings us to a very strong, very clear conclusion that we should have been bottoming out. Okay, first of all, we should have been topping out in Q4 2021, which I predicted perfectly. Second of all, we should have been bottoming out in Q4 2022, which I predicted perfectly again. And third of all, the next claim it's making is that we should be topping out, okay, in October 2025. That is the next claim the 4-year cycle is making. Now, if we were, okay, as per the 4-year cycle, bottoming out in Q4 2022, that means that we shouldn't be going back to 15K, which means we should be seeing, for the majority, for the most part, upwards trends from the bottom. Okay, and that's exactly what we've been seeing. We have other cyclical trends, such as these 2 trends here. Now, they're both kind of not really valid trends yet, because in order for trends to be valid, you need to see 3 data points, and we've only seen 2 confirmed data points for both of them. But they are certainly valid to the extent of which we can observe them and take them seriously to a certain degree. And without going into it too much, because I'm actually going to be doing a video on macro tomorrow, basically there are 2 trends in regards to when we have topped and how long it took to break the top, and also the percentage gain between bottom and halving, or bottom and the peak before the halving, more likely. They tell us that basically we should be reaching a new all-time high on Bitcoin between April 2024 and November 2024. So at the latest, Bitcoin should be reaching a new all-time high. And I don't mean topping, I mean reaching a new all-time high, breaking 69K at November 2024 or before. So that's at the latest. And we're certainly on track for that at this point. We've got a year to do that. So that's great to see as well. But we'll look into these macro trends a lot more tomorrow. Now, I'm going to be discussing the monthly chart, the massive bullish candle we're seeing there. We're going to be discussing Bitcoin dominance, which actually predicted this entire move, and we made that very clear a few weeks ago. We're going to be looking into Bitcoin daily chart, and we're going to be looking into the weekly chart break of a 1,000-day resistance, and also we're going to be looking into what is the next resistance zone for Bitcoin. All of that in a second. First and foremost, I want to look at Bitget and Bingx exchange. Now, if you're looking for an exchange, you need to be on a good exchange first and foremost, because you're trusting an exchange with your money, and you're also paying fees for trades. So you're literally paying the exchange to facilitate your trading and trusting them with your money in one go. So get on a good exchange. This is why I've handpicked the Bingx and Bitget exchanges. Bingx is a global exchange. It's non-KYC. You can sign up with just an email and a password. And Bitget is a KYC exchange, okay, that is global except for the USA and Canada. So you can sign up with an email address, password, and link your identity to Bitget. But both of these exchanges, with my referral links, you can get a 15% trading fee discount for life, as well as exclusive reward center access and exclusive kind of promotions I'll do with Wolves of Crypto with these exchanges. So just to clarify, I picked these exchanges. They did not pick me. They did not send me an email. I sent them an email and got in partnership with these exchanges because I really, really like what they're doing. So Bingx is global. Bitget is global except for USA and Canada. Take your pick there. They're both great exchanges. Get onto a good one with my referral link below. Best way to help yourself as a trader and best way to help your channel, my channel as well. So go ahead and do that. Now we'll get back into the content. Okay, we'll start with daily chart. Daily chart. Obviously, just kind of reiterating the same things we've said on the range bound chart. Bitcoin has broken this red box. It's come up very strongly. We have, okay, and just answering the question very quickly where the next major resistance is. Well, we're going to look into this again more extensively tomorrow when we look into short term. But for a very brief analysis of where the next resistance zones are, we have one over here at around 34.6K. And you can see that's something that we basically rejected from. We rejected from 34.4K, essentially the same thing, right? In fact, you could even go ahead and move this line down and perhaps we can reassess that situation tomorrow because it's a little bit hard to say exactly where it is. You can see actually that the resistance line here is a bit of a cluster. It's a bit of a cluster, right? We have many kind of points of contention where we've jumped up and down, and it's a bit of a hard place to kind of label something a very strong definitive resistance support. I think we need to see short-term price action in this region and see how the short-term price action reacts to that region in order to be confident in where exactly the resistance support is. But right now, this zone here, about 32K, has been flipped for support, that's for sure. And this zone down here has certainly been flipped for support as well. In fact, that happened a few days ago. So those are both green boxes now. And the next major kind of definitive resistance zone, right, a range, would actually be between 37.5K and 38K, which is where we saw kind of points of contention over here, a bottoming out over here. We saw, again, points of contention throughout the market cycle in the last bull market, right? Strong support over here, resistance at times. Again, it's a little bit vague. These zones are kind of hard to pinpoint with complete accuracy based on all the random scam pumps and dumps we saw during the bull market. It kind of makes it a bit hard. But I would say the next actual major support resistance would actually be up here at 37 to 38K. That's our next major target. But right now, that's getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, right? That actually is pretty far away still. That's all the way up, 15% away. So that's getting a little ahead of ourselves, especially after the move. Look, I haven't actually looked into short-term too much. I can't tell you too much about short-term, but I don't think it's a stretch to imagine that there will be some sort of short-term correction at some point. You can't continue uptrends like this indefinitely. So don't be stressed if you see something like that. And by the way, I want to address something very quickly. Do I think this range is broken for good? I do think the 32K is broken for good at this point in time. I think we've seen such a strong move above it. But on the occurrence that this is a scam, that's pretty bad news. But it's not actually even the end of the world if it is, because we've actually still done things like invalidated the head and shoulders pattern. So even if this whole thing is a scam, it's actually it's better that it's better that it happened than it didn't. And look, I don't think it is at this point. But yeah, look. That's for daily chart. Again, we'll look into short term more extensively tomorrow. We're also going to look into macro more extensively even tomorrow, the day after. I want to spread out my content. I don't want to chuck everything in one video because it's just going to get too confusing. I want to get the key points out today. Another thing, obviously, is the 1,000-day resistance break. We saw a weekly candle close above a 1,000-day resistance line. You can see it in blue. It stems back from April 2021. That close was very bullish. That's actually what made me bullish on the market. And obviously, we've seen a great reaction from that break, and that line was still very much valid, of course. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen this move. Absolute explosion to the upside. There's really nothing else to say about it. And then Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, people don't give this chart enough credit. This chart really did predict quite a lot. We had, we generally form these kind of structures for Bitcoin dominance. Let's go to the daily chart and take a look, actually. We form these kind of market patterns, right? We had a triangle-ish pattern over here. We broke it to the upside, March 13th, okay? If you look back on the Bitcoin chart, when was March 13th, okay? March 13th was over here. So March 13th, we zoomed upwards on Bitcoin dominance. We zoomed upwards on the Bitcoin chart. Another breakout was around January, that January region. Again, we had another similar kind of market pattern. Broke upwards in January. I don't know exactly what it was. I can't pinpoint it right now. It's something like this, I suppose. Okay, broke upwards in January, and it led to a Bitcoin break upwards. So Bitcoin dominance forming these patterns, again, another pattern over here, and breaking to the upside. Whenever Bitcoin dominance forms these market patterns and breaks them to the upside, okay, Bitcoin itself skyrockets. And if you look at when we saw the break above this descending wedge on descending channel on Bitcoin dominance, we saw it on September 12th. You go to the Bitcoin chart, all right, and you look at when September 12th was. September 12th was back here. In fact, it was the day of the lowest candle wick we saw, okay, during this entire correction. The day of that, Bitcoin dominance broke upwards. I spoke about it on that very day, and I said that's a reason for Bitcoin that could make Bitcoin very bullish, and we saw a skyrocket because of that. So the next time you see Bitcoin dominance forming a pattern, a triangle formation, a channel formation, and the next time you see it break to the upside, that's actually a very strong buy signal for Bitcoin at this point in the market cycle. And I was one step ahead of everyone else in the market. I've not seen one single analyst. I'll repeat that. I have not seen one single analyst in the cryptocurrency space make reference to Bitcoin dominance's structures in relation to the Bitcoin price action. That's a Wolves of Crypto exclusive right there, to the best of my knowledge. So great call there. In fact, this range has just been filled with great calls. I'm not boasting, but I mean, far out, man. I mean, flipping bullish the day before the biggest green candle we've seen in years, potentially. I haven't fact checked that, but years potentially is an absolute call and a half. So great stuff, and to end it off, monthly chart as well. We've seen a very, very strong, decisive. Okay, it's not actually closed yet. With that said, we've got 8 days into the close. It could flip badly, but we've seen a very strong, at this point, clean, decisive, strong green monthly candle close, pumping very strongly above the recent monthly candle top, which would put us in a very strong macro uptrend. So I've actually made this video a bit shorter than I usually make them. I want to talk about one more thing, actually. Why has this move occurred? Well, obviously TA is one reason, and to act like TA is not a reason is ridiculous. People will go around and claim on Twitter and YouTube, oh, this happened because of news. Mate, no, it didn't happen because of news. It happened because of TA, okay? We saw a break above a 1,000-day long resistance. We saw a break above Gaussian channel upper band. We saw a break above bull market support band. We saw a break above the 28K range. This stuff doesn't happen because of TA. TA is one aspect of it. Fundamentals are usually a justification for price action, not a reason for it. So, what was the fundamental events that occurred? Well, we had some progressions in regards to ETFs. If we look at, for example, BlackRock, making their not BlackRock actually, iShares making their ticker, and BlackRock apparently starting to buy Bitcoin. It's called seeding. It's basically the start of the process of getting their ETF ready. Nothing's actually been approved yet, but those things are good news in general. So overall, we've just seen good news in relation to ETFs, and we know what that ETF news can do to Bitcoin. We saw it just a few days ago, and we saw a massive pump in the Bitcoin price on a fake ETF approval. But yeah, we'll speak about that all tomorrow. Again, I'm trying to spread out the content. I don't want to chuck it all in one video, but I think I've given you a good analysis today. So basically, Bitcoin's broke upwards massively. Bitcoin is bullish for sure. We said that yesterday before this break. Yes, there is a chance that this is a fake move. We'll look into short term tomorrow for that reason. I want to give it time to progress. I don't think I can make an opinion on that at this point. It's been moving too quickly. Yes, there's been some fundamental news, but ultimately this was TA driven. And yes, we're on track with the 4-year cycle theory. So ultimately, it's been good overall. Guys, before I end the video, let's check out the Crypto Academy. The Become a Trader 10-unit course is a course that teaches you how to trade. If you want to learn how to analyze charts like myself and get that accuracy that I have got in the last few days, you can go ahead and do that with the Become a Trader 10-unit course. Read the paragraphs on the website, check out the unit topics there as well, and throw us an email at cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with all the payment information shortly. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers.